A famous quote by Maya Angelou reads, "Nothing will work unless you do." And another way to say that is nothing will change unless you change. You have been wanting to start something. You've been wanting to develop a new hobby or start up an existing hobby that benefited you, that made you feel good, but you're in a place right now where you feel that things need to align around you in order for you to start this thing, whatever you've been wanting to do. I bring this up because I feel that I'm in a similar situation, and I know that there are people out there who feel and are going through the same thing and feel the same way. And the other day I was talking to a friend and I was telling him how, I've gone through this transition in my life and I'm in a new season now, and I made these expectations, unrealistic expectations, once I got here of what my life would look like. I figured that everything would be figured out. I would have my life together. Everything, would be perfect. I would be perfect in a sense. And it very quickly dawned on me that that was not the case. And something I realized that I've almost forgotten is that just because you're in a place that you had been praying for God to bring you, the work and transforming He started in you isn't finished. And really, it won't ever be finished, because we, as we go through different seasons of our lives, He'll always be teaching us and we'll always be learning from Him if and when we choose to. And I say if and when we choose because you can allow your fleshly desires and your personal needs to get in the way of what God is actually speaking over your life, what he's portraying for you to do, what He has set out for your life. And so it's really important to recognize and understand that regardless of where you are physically, of who you're surrounded by, whether you're thriving or you're going through it, there's always going to be learning from experiences that God allows you to go through. And it's important to remember to not get so bogged down when things aren't progressing or don't happen the way that you expect them to. I log into the Bible app every morning, and today's verse of the day was Ephesians 3 verse 20, which says, "Now unto Him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us." And the next slide shows a description of this verse, kind of an explanation. And one of the paragraphs says, "We can submit ourselves to His plan, knowing that it's all God, but He chooses to work in and through His people to accomplish His purposes. He doesn't need us to be perfect. He just wants us to be willing." And that last part reminded me of Matthew 26 verse 21, which says, "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He works in and through us so that we can live out His plan for our lives through the choices we make every day, through the actions we take every day. If you're a follower of Christ, you know that trusting God with your circumstances will lead to a fulfilled life and eventually eternity with Him. He doesn't ask us to be flawless. The whole reason why God sent down His only Son was to save us from the afflictions of this evil and messed up world, especially the world that we're living in right now. He asks us to be willing to follow Him no matter where you are in your life right now. So please be encouraged to start that thing that brings you joy, that hobby that gives you a sense of purpose, because you have to remember that God has placed that in your heart. He wants you to chase and seek after the things that glorify Him. So whatever gives you that sense of purpose, whatever God has placed in your heart, the thing that you know He has spoken over your life, Seek that out and remember to trust God with your circumstances, because no matter how they look right now, you can start. You can take that leap of faith and start. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect at first. You will go through trials. You will go through hard times, but understand that trusting in God will lead to that fulfilled life. So trust in Him and just start. Take that leap of faith, and He will follow and carry you through it. I pray that this message gets to whoever it needs to today. Thank you, and God bless.